This tutorial is for 5th grade, Module 6, Lesson 9. In this lesson, we're going to continue to look at patterns on the coordinate plane. The first direction is to follow the stated rule to create ordered pairs and then plot those pairs on the coordinate plane. So for my first chart, it says the rule is y is 1 more than x. So if my x coordinate is 1, y would be 2. I just have to go 1 more than x. The ordered pair would be 1, 2. If x is 5, y would be 6. The ordered pair is 5, 6. If x is 9, y would be 10. The ordered pair is 9, 10. And if x is 13, y would be 14. And the ordered pair is 13, 14. And now I'm going to plot each of these points on my coordinate plane. For 1, 2, I will move over 1 unit and up 2. For 5, 6, I move over 5 units, up 6. For 9, 10, I would move over 9 units, up 10. And for 13, 14, I'd move over 13 units and up 14 units. I'm going to connect each of these points to make my line. And here's my line that goes through all 4 of those points, and we call that line A. Moving down to the next chart, the rule is y is 4 more than x. So if x is 0, y would be 4. And the ordered pair would be 0, 4. If x is 5, y would be 9. 4 more than 5 is 9. So the ordered pair is 5, 9. If x is 8, y would be 12. The ordered pair is 8, 12. And if x is 11, the y would be 15. The ordered pair is 11, 15. And I'll go ahead and plot those points on the same coordinate plane. So I start at 0, I do not move over on my x-axis, move up to the 4, make a point, then I'll plot 5, 9, so over 5, up 9, and then 8, 12, I'll go over 8, up 12, and 11, 15, so I'll go over 11 and up 15. And now I will connect those points to make line B. And this is what that line looks like, and I've labeled it line B. Question B at the bottom says, based on the patterns you see, predict what line C, whose rule is 7 more than x, would look like, and then draw your prediction on the plane above. Well, in the first chart, we had a rule that y is 1 more than x, and then in the second chart, y was 4 more than x. When we changed that rule, we still created parallel lines, but the second line was further up the coordinate plane than the first line, line A. Well, I predict that since we're going 7 more than x, that the next line will still be parallel, but it'll be even further up the plane than line A or B. So if I use that prediction and I think, okay, my y coordinate is going to be 7 more than my x coordinate. Well, what if my x coordinate was 0? That would mean the y coordinate would be 7. So to plot 0, 7, I would start at 0, move up 7, and make a point at that ordered pair. Let's say my x-coordinate was 5. If I added 7 to that, I would have 12. So I would go over 5, up 12, and I would plot that point. And let's say my ordered pair was 8. If I start at 8 and add 7 to that, that would be 15. So my ordered pair would be 8, 15. Mark that point. And now that I have these 3 points, I can draw my line C. and I can already see that it's probably going to be parallel to lines A and B. And there is my finished line, line C, and it is indeed parallel to lines A and B, and it is above both of those lines on the coordinate plane. Here's another example. This time my rule is that y is twice as much as x, and I'm going to provide both the x and the y coordinates. So if I started with an x coordinate of 0, well, 2 times 0 would still be 0. So my ordered pair would start at 0, 0. Then if I chose 3 for my x coordinate, my y coordinate would be 6, because y is twice as much as x, and 2 times 3 is 6. So that would give me an ordered pair of 3, 6. And if I chose, let's say, 7 for my x coordinate, my y coordinate would be 14. Ordered pair 7, 14. And if I chose 8 for my x coordinate, my y coordinate would be 16. 8, 16. And we'll go ahead and plot those points. So 0, 0 is actually the origin. 3, 6 would be over 3 up 6. 7, 14 would be over 7 up 14. And 8, 16 would be over 8 up 16. And I'll connect those points and call that line E. So there's all 4 of my points connected, and we'll call that point E. Now let's move down to the next table. It says that line F's rule is that y is half as much as x. So I'm going to start with 0 again. If I have 0 and I take half of 0, I still have 0. The ordered pair would be 0, 0. Let's say I have 4 for my x coordinate. Half of that would be 2. The ordered pair would be 4, 2. Let's say I have 5 for my x coordinate. The y coordinate would be 2 and 5/10, because half of 5 is 2 and 5/10, or 2 and a half. So my ordered pair would be 5, 2 and 1/2. And let's say my x coordinate is 10. The y coordinate would be 5, because half of 10 is 5, and the ordered pair would be 10, 5. Now let's plot these points. So again, we'll start with 0, 0, which is the origin, and then 4, 2. So we'll go over 4, up 2, and then we have 5, 2 and a half. So we have 5, 2 and a half. And then we have 10, 5. So over 10, up 5. And now I'll connect those 4 points. So you can see I've connected those points with a line, and we'll call that line F. And the final direction says, based on the patterns you see, predict what line G, whose rule is 4 times as much as x, would look like, and draw your prediction in the plane. Well, if we go back to our charts, the first one we multiplied y by 2, and the second line we multiplied y by 1/2. We took half as much. I would say that the greater amount we multiply by, the higher up or steeper the line is on the plane. But notice they both start at the origin of 0, 0. So they're not parallel, they intersect at the origin. So that would be my prediction, that my line is going to be steeper, and it's still going to start at the origin. So for example, if I started with 0 as my x coordinate, well, 4 times 0 is 0, so that would start at the origin. And then let's say I took 2 for my x coordinate. 2 times 4 is 8, so I would plot that over 2 up 8. That would give me that point. Let's see, let's do one more. What if I went with the x coordinate of 3? 4 times 3 is 12. I'll plot that. I'll go over 3 and up 12. That gives me 3 points, and I can connect those points, and I'll call that line G. Here's my line. I'll label it line G, and I believe our prediction is correct. So it's a steeper line. It is not parallel to E or F, but it does intersect with those two lines at the origin of 0, 0. So another interesting pattern that happens on the coordinate plane when you start looking at the relationship between the x and y coordinates.